Well, what's better than one wicketkeeper talking about a wicketkeeper? It's two wicketkeepers talking about a wicketkeeper. Alyssa Healy and Brad Haddin joining me, Adam Peacock, on Willow Talk, waving at Alex Carey again. Hello, Heels.
Guys, I'm sorry I kept you waiting tonight, but this is the most overdressed / underdressed I've ever been on Willow Talk. I'm a bit confused as to where I currently am. I've got a face full of makeup, a hair full of hair gel, a nice dress on, and a Willetton Crows Cricket Club hat on. I don't even know where I'm currently at.
You're in wicketkeeper heaven. That's where you are.
I am. Today was special.
Brad, we sat here, not sat here, this morning we recorded a little preview for Willow Talk saying that what we could maybe expect, and guess what? Alex Carey took 5 catches.
We talk a lot about Alex Carey's 100, and we'll just plant that because as true wicketkeepers today, I was on air when he took his 5th dismissal, and I jumped up and everyone looked at me like I was the weirdest bloke in the room, and I was happy.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been happier. 5 dismissals. Adelaide Oval always quickens up day 2. You get the finer nicks, but once again, it was the Alex Carey show.
That's his sixth 5-wicket, 5 dismissal hauls in Test cricket. There you go. That is an absolute mouthful, but 6. That's a decent effort.
Check who's been working on television next to Laurie Colliver, getting some...
I took him that stat, but no, I didn't. But unbelievable. He's just been sensational. That's all I can say.
Well, keepers are meant to go unnoticed.
Yeah, he's being noticed.
Definitely has not gone unnoticed. Even today, there was a moment where he went up the stumps for a ball, went back up the stumps, and then the next over decided to go up the stumps and stay there. 2 wickets.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice who was bowling, but I know there was 2 wickets when Alex Carey started to play mind games, as you said, Hills, with the England batsmen.
So England hung on in the end after a really tough day too, in terms of the physical toll it took on everyone who was out there in the middle, because it is still stinking hot right now as we record this. After day 2, it's still 35 degrees plus, but they did well to stay out there, and Australia didn't let the pressure up on England. It was on all day. We're here thanks to Liquorland. Make sure you settle everything this summer with Liquorland. Choose to drink wise, and Australia in a commanding position because it felt like, guys, there wasn't longer than a 10-minute period where England felt comfortable today. Is that a fair statement?
I think, yeah, you're right. I think relentless is the nature of that Australian bowling attack, and probably the fielding display as well. They were up and about all day. They created pressure. Even the over of just nonsense chat from Marnus was at least something. It was energy, and it just created a little bit of buzz around the group. But I felt like that Harry Brook dismissal just opened the game up completely. I know that they'd already got a few wickets leading into that moment, but that dismissal of a guy who you know can take a game away from you pretty quickly, and he looked set. He'd faced 60-odd deliveries. To get him in that manner, I think then the Aussies were climbing in here, and they did.
We were so close to an emotional review from Harry Brook because he got such a good ball and he couldn't believe his luck because he knew he was potentially on one, Hads, the potential to get the momentum back in England's favour, and just didn't happen, obviously.
Well, if you have a look at the dismissals today, it was nothing like the first 2 test matches. They were fine edges. It wasn't anything where they were going hard outside off stump, throwing with their hands. It was actually just really, really high-class test bowling. And to me, England looked a bit lost today in between games. Do we play the style that we're known for, where we take the game on, we play brave, or do we just survive and try to get a score? And today they got caught in between 2 game styles. And we can talk about the pressure of Test cricket. Yes, England are under a lot of pressure, but it was the bowling today. They all bowled together. It was all high class. Even the captain to come back. He hasn't played since the West Indies. Lino did his role. Mitch did his role. It was just high quality bowling.
But have a think about who got that Harry Brook dismissal. It was Cam Green.
Yeah.
Cam Green literally got thrown the ball, and his first over gets a breakthrough, and that just shows the pressure that the Australian bowling attack can put you under. That Pat Cummins is throwing the ball around the main quicks, you give the ball to the all-round, he comes in and makes immediate impact. So it's just that bowling group at the moment is on fire.
But the other thing I enjoyed too, Heels, today, where Paddy's come on to bowl to Joe Root. He's got Joe Root a number of times, done it first over after the break. Sorry, mate, you're off. And Starkey comes on because he's got Stokes, and just those little moments just showed the education that the Australians have worked towards. Like they've earned the right, they've worked so hard, they're planning, they've done everything right in this. Conditions they were horrible for bowling today, But you wouldn't have noticed that by the way they planned and the way they were in the field.
And on that, you mentioned yesterday on the pod, Hads, that what do you do to prepare for day two? And you simply said, do not mention the heat. So get on with your job, which at times, and I went for a lap, and I could sit there for 2 overs, and that was it. It was
you got a soccer background though.
Yeah,
you took a dive.
Yeah, I know. I tripped on something and fell down.
It's too hot.
Hurt my shin, but it was stinking hot. It was oppressive.
Yeah,
it was horrible. It's the oven wind from the north, the desert, and all of that. But how do you stay on top of it? You guys have been in conditions like that where you're all wrapped up. You've got the keeper's equipment on, that you don't at any point let it enter your mind, because watching the Australians field, you're right, they were on it all day, walking in the whole time, not loafing. Marnus nearly took a spectacular one with the tumble as well.
You know what? How you do it? You get it right with the ball first off, and I think that's where England sort of let themselves down a little bit. They had a newish ball. The start of the day, they're bowling at the Australian tail, and they bowled short and wide. The first ball that I think was hitting the stumps all day was a wicket. Mitch Starc lost the top of his leg stump. So I think that's the way to keep the heat out of it. You get out of it, get it right with the ball, be focused, be ready to go, get off the field, and then deal with it as a batting group, because you can get drinks run at you all the time. But for the Aussies, they're used to it. They're used to this heat. It's a dry heat. It's sometimes the better heat. It's the humidity that really kills you in a game of cricket when you can't quite breathe. I'm sure that they'll disagree with me regarding the heat in that regard, but it's just, we're used to it here in Australia. We can cop it and move on, and the energy that the boys can create out of that's pretty special.
What about little moments in test matches that are actually really big moments in the scheme of things? Yeah, first ball, they bowl on the stump, Starkey's out. But did you notice what happened 15 seconds after that?
Oh, mate. I loved it. I actually loved it. It's the first time that we've seen the England skipper crack a little bit at his own team. I mean, what happens behind closed doors, we don't know, but it's the first moment on field that I think we've truly seen he was grumpy. And he was grumpy at his big quick.
Yeah.
Joffrey didn't like it either.
No,
he wasn't appreciative of the feedback he got.
We might know now, after the last day in Brisbane, who Ben Stokes was talking about.
To me, it was patently clear who he was talking about. And Steve Smith actually got ahead of it and actually sledged him for it.
Yeah.
So, but does Joffre, is he back in the good books, seeing he's got a little partnership going with his captain? He batted really well at the end of the day. Does that put him back in the good books?
Well, it puts him back into, if they can get another 50 off this total and Australia only lead by 100. And we've seen Ben Stokes, the one thing throughout his whole career is he's made these sort of moments uncomfortable for opposition. So while he's there and he's got a partner, there's opportunities to get that score down as close as they can to the Australians. They're 150 now behind. If they can get it under 100, that's a big win.
I gave a stat I mentioned before. I'll give another one a good mention. Our man Ethan at Triple M, he's all over it. He told me about Stokes' strike rate, about being how low it was. At one point, and it still is, it's for the series about 30. Where the rest of the English side is around 60, 65, which tells you
small
what?
Sample size.
5 innings.
Okay, I think sometimes we'll probably have a crack at him and going, he's not playing Bazball. But when your team's constantly 30 for zip, someone's got to rein it back in at some point, and it's more often than not had to be him. They haven't allowed him the opportunity to play flowing, expansive cricket yet. I'm sure that if the opportunity comes where, Harry Brook and Joe Root get going and Ben Stokes comes in with a rather large lead, he'll play the style of cricket that we think that they want to play. But at the moment, they're not allowing him that opportunity to do that. He's literally just trying to keep oppositions out. But in saying that, it's actually sometimes to the detriment of their team in that the scoreboard's not moving. So Jofra Archer coming out was probably a little bit of a blessing for him in that the scoreboard started moving again. Gave him a little bit of freedom. The Aussies probably tried a little bit too much at Archer, a little bit. Got some away, got some to the boundary, the scoreboard's moving, and then it takes the pressure off Stokes a little bit. So it's a hard one to answer, but I feel for him a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like you're playing chess and you've almost cornered him, you've almost checkmated him. You're giving him no wiggle room. Because, say for instance, he does come out with 30 on the board and a few down, and he plays a rash shot trying to accelerate and he gets out, well, he gets absolutely pillared. And then I'm not trying to pillar him here with his bad strike rate, but I'm making a point that he's not playing his natural game.
Well, he is playing his natural game.
This is his natural game.
This is how Ben Stokes has always played. He puts a high price on his wicket, he's got a good defence, and then when the game pans out in front of him, he accelerates it when he's got 1 or 2 wickets left. So he's always played like this. The only doubt we have is that's not what he's telling his players to play like. He's saying, look, watch me, but what's coming out of his mouth is different to what he's producing on the field. That's where the frustration lies.
Yeah, to me that's the interpretation of Bazball, and we've spoken about it for the last 2 years, haven't we, on Willow Talk about it. It's almost like, what is it? What's the true definition of it? Is it a style of play, an acceleration, or is it a vibes mentality of play the way you feel? And Ben Stokes is playing the way he feels, and Harry Brook's playing the way he feels, and it's not working out for him. But it is for Ben Stokes with the bat.
I think it's a little bit of column C, Adam. A myth.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm glad you're back.
I think it's a culture. I think it's something that they've created to term something that they wanted to achieve, and I don't think they've achieved it. I don't think that the success rate at the moment has achieved what they've set out to achieve with this terminology in Bazball. They're about to go back and play a real traditional form of Test cricket to get themselves back into this Ashes series, and that goes against everything they've been talking about for the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm intrigued to see what, I guess, the language is coming out after this Test match. If they do go on to lose this Test match, still a long way to go.
Yep.
I still feel like there's a twist in this Test match to come, but I feel like if it's a negative outcome for England, I'm really intrigued by the language coming forward.
Column C? You with column C as well, Hads?
I actually don't know what to say. That was perfect. I'm staring at Alex Carey, but now it's heels.
Oh, man. Just a quick one on Nathan Lyon about, okay, he's fresh. He's come into today. And from the start, did you notice he was on it?
I tell you when Nathan Lyon was on it, when he got left out in Brisbane.
Yeah.
He's been dying to get the ball in his hands in his Ashes campaign. Mate, what about the effort today? We've seen today a lot about, they've spoke about Snicko, they've spoke about how the English were dismissed. Nathan Lyon went past McGrath.
Yeah.
Like, as one of our all-time greats. He's got the most wickets here at Adelaide Oval, but take a bow, Nathan Lyon, enjoy yourself a beer with your teammates, and he'll walk in the change room tonight. You sit down, and he deserves to be a hero in that change room. What he's done in his career, he was under pressure for a long time with his spot. He had to follow Warney, but he's a true great of our game. Well done.
Yeah, and fans of Nathan Lyon going past us in the background right there. Do you think the
his
S&C
brother.
will allow him to have a beer tonight?
Nah, I genuinely think they'll save it till the end of the Test match. They win the Ashes.
Yeah.
I know they want to win it 5-0, but if they win the Ashes here in Adelaide, I'm sure they'll be allowed one cold one.
Absolutely. Hey, you mentioned the word Snicko there. I mean, every other podcast, show, newspaper, radio, they would have mentioned Snicko by now, obviously. Not about that at Willow Talk. We're not about the controversy. We're about the cricket.
Well, what
That's what I was about to get to.
The only bit of the controversy was yesterday with Alex Carey when he's on 70.
And the wrong one used. Yeah. The wrong mic was used for
The
it.
wrong mic was used, and they admitted to that mistake. Today they didn't get anything wrong. Snicko didn't.
No.
So Jamie Smith was out?
Jamie Smith was out. He hit the ball.
The umpire gave it out on field.
Did he? I couldn't tell. I could have sworn for about an hour there that umpire just stopped making decisions.
They were only checking the if it carried or not, the clean catch, which means, in my mind, it actually shouldn't have even gone to Snicko because the umpire's given it out on field.
Unless Jamie Smith.
Yeah, which he was going to anyway, but I thought the process was a little bit muddled.
Yeah.
But it was a fair catch. The umpire gave it out on field, and Snicko showed that there was a feather there. And I think at least 6 people on the field heard it. So
with Snicko, for those viewers watching at home, just to terminology-wise in television, that camera that they use for Snicko is capturing the picture at 75 frames per second. However, audio captures at a much higher rate. So it doesn't marry up. Like, that's why you're seeing something that you're seeing the Snicko when it's past the bat or whatever, as long as it's past the bat, unlike yesterday when it was before. Anyway.
But they've apologised for that.
They apologised for that.
Apologised for that mistake.
My point is that maybe the ICC, in a World Test Championship qualifier, which a lot of Test matches are these days, needs to set down a higher threshold and perhaps provide for the host broadcaster that higher threshold of funding to be able to go out and get a higher frame rate camera to make it more equitable and better for the viewer. So there's not this kind of feeling, it's the age of conspiracy, oh, well, that's not real.
Yeah, well, with the with the World Test Championship now, you've got to make everything an even playing field. And the simple answer is the ICC needs to be proactive, and every game that has points on the World Test Championship have exactly the same technology. Done.
Yeah.
Finished.
Summed up.
Fair enough. Quick break. Thanks to
Thanks,
Liquorland.
Chris.
Back in a moment. We're going to talk about Mitch Starc. Is he an all-rounder? Willow Talk at Adelaide Oval, all thanks to our good friends at Liquorland, where we're going to go and get a soda water and a lemonade after a big day's play here in Adelaide.
No, we're not.
Mitchell Starc, same number of runs as Harry Brook so far this series. That's something to be proud of. Is he an all-rounder? A bowling all-rounder? Is that a fair term for him?
Oh, I've always firmly believed that, yes, he is an all-rounder. I just don't think he's believed it in his own mind, nor does he want to, because that means more time out on the ground when he should have his feet up or sitting in an ice bath. So I've always thought that. But, I mean, that sums up the series a little bit, doesn't it, when you point it out like that our number 9 has more runs than I think most of their team, bar Joe Root at the moment. So that's a little bit worrying for me.
I love watching Starkey bat because... Yeah. When you're under pressure, he tries. And he normally gets 30 or 40, he got 50 today. When the game's gone, you watch him walk out and you think, this ain't going to happen. But when he has to, like 9 times out of 10, he gets that partnership. He understands how the momentum of the game goes. He bats with the batter at the other end. Then when Lino comes in or Josh, he starts to open his game up. But if we're 7 or 8 for 400 and he's walking out, you go, this is going to take 2 balls.
You could see that his dismissal that he didn't want to get anywhere near that delivery, right? I think he was protecting a few certain areas because stuff was getting out of the way when it was angling in. He knew he had to get a few blows in early before Joffrey got it right. He can bat.
Yeah,
when
he wants to.
I will say, though, it feels like it becomes really annoying really quickly when you go out and you want 2 poles early to clean it up. You want to be done in 10 runs. And all of a sudden, 10 becomes 15, becomes 20, becomes 30. And then it's only in the grand scheme 20 runs, but it feels a hell of a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Like it sets a mood.
Frustration. You lose it. That's when you can lose it out in the field. When you've got 2 wickets to get, all you've spoken about the night before is, we'll get those 2 wickets and then we've got to bat. And those 2 wickets take 45 minutes, an hour and a half.
Which is what Australia need to do tomorrow morning. So how do they go about it? And conditions-wise, what's the deck looking like it's going to do on day 3?
I think they've just got to keep the stumps in play as much as they possibly can. Probably don't overcomplicate it. Don't go away from what's worked for them so well in this test match, in that bowling decent length at the stumps, challenging both edges of the bat. I think it's going to be really important. Don't overplay Archer. I think they might... They look to try a few things to him. They probably went searching a little bit. Just keep it really simple. Make them come to us, in an essence. But funny, that's the quirk about cricket, right? Is like how frustrating it is that the tail enders get to bat, but not everybody gets to bowl. You think about that.
That's a real good thing.
But it's like, imagine how frustrating it would be if Marnus Labuschagne came and bowled 6 overs tomorrow. I think Australia could be in with a shot of, like Travis Head, Marnus Labuschagne. Get him in there, give him a crack, because that's exactly what it's like when the tail enders are scoring runs.
What would you bowl?
I can bowl whatever you need, Brad. But at the moment, little dirty sidearm offies around the wicket, in at the heels.
You can only bowl flippers, can't you?
I'd be a real good bowler if I could bowl a leggy.
If you could land it.
Well, you just got to pretend to bowl a leg spinner and you're fine.
No, but I can't hit the surface with my leggy. But my flipper's just second behind Mornings. But I can't set the wicket up.
A quick one from across the Dutch, the Kiwis, Mount Maunganui. It looks
Great
a good
place.
deck over there. They're 1 for 334 at stumps in Kane Williamson's farewell on home soil. But they got Devon Conway, Tommy Latham put on a ridiculous partnership at the top, and then they sent the night watchman in.
Nice.
Yes or no?
No, but nice. Funny. How good.
I don't believe in night watchmen.
No, I know you don't, especially at none for 300.
I had a funny moment here, playing a New South Wales game. Corey Richards said, I need a night watchman. I said, no worries. He said, who is it? I said, don't worry about who it is. Yeah. Just if you need one, I'll get it sorted. He goes, I need one. Adelaide Oval was like this. So I snuck out the back, put my gear on, just sat there quietly, lost a wicket, walked out, blocked the next 2 overs. And he goes, Oh, if I'd known it was you, I wouldn't have done it. I said, no, it's irrelevant who it was. I just asked you if you wanted it. And so I could bat the next day.
And fill up?
Nah, I got out for 90. Trying to hit a 6 to bring
Close
up 100.
enough.
You got excited, didn't you?
Yeah.
Again.
But
Anyway.
that's I did read or see on socials that the West Indian skipper was okay with losing the toss. He was probably going to have a bowl anyway. What did New Zealand? 1 for 300?
Yeah, it's tough in those games.
Tough.
When you got a legend like Kane Williamson, that
Yeah.
the room lifts, and that's what they've done.
Yeah.
Exactly. I got the Willow Talk representation hat from a club here in South Australia, Mount Compass.
Yeah, cool.
A couple of the boys were at the test day 1 yesterday. They're dairy farmers about an hour south of Adelaide. Looks a beautiful spot there, Mount Compass, but they've provided this cap. You've got the Willerton Crows, and Hads, we've got one for you tomorrow. So, yeah.
What do you got for me?
Don't know yet. We'll sort one out though.
7 up.
I need a 7-up.
Just before we do, Secret Cricket Club. Shout out to Mount Compass. Thank you again. Secret Cricket Club question. Seb has got a question. Shall we get a permanent Marnus mic?
Oh, no. I feel for the poor sucker who's got to edit that. So, no thank you. Small.
Makes commentary easier.
Small
Just
doses.
shut up and let him talk.
Well, he's great to have in the field on a day like this because mate, he tries.
Yeah.
And you miss guys like Marnus in hot days when they're not in the team because they give you energy and you can have a laugh at them, they can have a laugh at themselves. I wouldn't mind a Marnus stump mic.
Mubasha asks, if you could rename this test after day 2, what would you call it?
The Christmas test. I did a function today and they called this the Christmas test.
Yeah.
This is what they've always wanted.
I'd call it Kerry Palooza at the moment.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what I'd
I was
call
going
it.
down an Alex Carey path as well, so you stole my thunder. So let's go Kerry Palooza.
Well, no, you had a chance there, and then I jumped in after it. Anyway, Kerry Palooza. What do we got? Dean just says hashtag bring back hotspot. No,
we don't
Sorry,
want that.
Dean,
We
no,
don't need
no.
that.
It doesn't work, hotspot.
No, pal.
Not too much technology,
No.
but everyone's off Snicko.
Yep.
That's
That's right. How about we just go back to the umpire, give him the decision out then?
That's
No,
what I mean
everyone's
earlier.
blowing up about
What
it.
He dead set for half an hour there, didn't know how to make a decision. That's what it felt like watching.
He was under pressure.
Anyway, hot for him too. James asks, since Camo has got route 12 times and wasn't playing at the Gabba, are we counting his ton as official? Oh, that's harsh. Let's stick the boot into a pop day. I think it's
Nah,
still
we're
a
counting
good
it.
knock.
Yeah,
He
I think
played
it counts.
beautifully.
He did.
Yeah.
Monkey off his back.
Pat bowled pretty well on his return.
He did. Looked like he hadn't missed any cricket, which is a little bit daunting. I felt like he eased into his spell too and then just got better.
It'll be interesting how he comes back tomorrow and
Yeah.
the day after, but he was world class today.
Has Joe Root, we know it, we've seen it a few times, Manchester 2019 still lives in everyone's memory of that ball that got him first ball, but has Joe Root got some kind of situation going on where he can't pick that particular delivery from Pat?
No, but I think he set him up beautifully in that he bowled, the last ball he bowled before the wicket delivery was a short ball and it was right on the money. He pulled it right off his nose, got it for 4, but he pulled it off his snoz. And this might show I've been working in TV today, but they quite literally showed his weight transfer straight after that for that next delivery. It was way back. He was back.
Okay.
He was really late to move into that delivery, and he was just off balance and then nicked a decent ball. But that was pure setup from a quality fast bowler.
And Kaylin, last question, what shoes was Starkey wearing? I suffer from shin splints and they look comfy. Also, is he size 15 or is Gilly guessing?
Yeah, Gilly guessed there.
Gilly guessed.
Size 14, but yeah, he spikes up his Asics cross trainers on it. Hads used to do it as well when he played.
Really?
Yeah, he just doesn't quite fit a bowling boot, so he has to kind of do it himself. But yeah, the cross trainer's the way to go.
Yeah.
You did that too?
Hads used to spike up a walking shoe, the old man.
Really?
To batting.
Sketches.
Yeah. But
Asics.
the ones I kept in, I had the same keeping shoes for about 8 years of my career.
There you go.
I just stockpiled a real old set.
There you go. We're done for Willow Talk today.
We're not quite done. I just want you to turn the camera over here. I am going over and talking to Adam's cousin, who has been on the guitar the whole time on the show. We've had Johnny Williamson here, but I tell you what, Adam's cousin, who is waiting for us, I'm going to go buy you a beer because you've been on fire all day.
That right there is the Hindley Street John Williamson. That's
Yeah.
who that is. And we're going to see him right now.
Yep.
So, Heels, Hads, thanks for that.
Hindley Street, we'll see you soon.
Thank you. All thanks to Liquorland. Score more this summer with Liquorland. Choose to drink wise. That was Willow Talk for day 2 at Adelaide Oval. Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.